The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andrea Caulfield. I am Director of Membership here at ASTA, and I will be serving as the moderator for today's webinar. Before we get started, I'd like to review a couple housekeeping items for you. We will be answering questions at the end of the presentation today. To ask a question, please use the GoToWebinar pane at the right-hand side of your screen. Near the bottom of this pane, it says an area that says questions. If you click on the arrow, it will open up a separate window pane, and that's where you can communicate with us. If you are having trouble hearing the presentation, please make sure your speakers are turned on. And if you called in, try hanging up and dialing in again. You can send me any technical issue via the question pane as well, and I will answer them as soon as possible. Please note, all audience members are muted. We certainly want to hear from you, but we have so many people on the call that the background noise would be prohibitive. And we want to ensure everyone can hear the entire presentation. Finally, please note this webinar is being recorded and will be available on asta.org in about 3 to 5 business days. Now I'm going to turn it over to our speaker this afternoon, Mr. Richard Earls, publisher of Travel Research Online. So Richard, please take it away.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yeah, I've been involved in travel basically since 1990, and I began as a travel agent. I had my own. Well, actually, before that, during a sadder period of my life, I was an attorney. But somebody approached me about buying a travel agency, and that sounded like a lot more fun. And so I joined him in the travel agency, and we ran it for about 10 years. And I learned a lot about the industry, obviously, but I also got involved with technology. And the internet was just getting to be a big thing, and I started building little applications for the internet and websites. And in fact, we even won an award one year from Travel Weekly for, not Travel Week, yes, it was Travel Weekly for best website. So I later developed a little application, and that application Travel Weekly bought from me. And I went to work for them as a publisher. I then got the idea for TRO, Travel Research Online, and Travel Weekly really didn't want to do it, and so I left and did it myself. A few years later, I came up with the idea for Voyager websites because I didn't think there was enough variety or interesting websites for travel advisors. And we did that, and we've run that since 2016, I believe. And then a year ago, my son, who's a little bit of a mad scientist, started talking to me about artificial intelligence. And the more he talked, the more interesting it sounded to me. And so we created the Voyager social portal. And that content portal is where we're going to spend a lot of time today, but we're also going to talk about the websites. And we have a program in association with ASTA where we can provide you with a terrific discount on both products. So that photograph that you see of the cat flying through space in a spacesuit, that is the only photograph like that in the world. There is not an identical photograph like that. And the reason is that we used artificial intelligence to generate it. Now, I know that people have lots of concerns about artificial intelligence, and they're not all ill-founded. There are valid concerns about the potential for artificial intelligence to be misused. That is certainly true, and we've got to guard against that. The fact of the matter is, though, that artificial intelligence is here, and it will be used in the travel industry. And as travel advisors, we want to be aware of how to use it to enhance our companies and our business. And that's our mission with Voyager Social. We are essentially training travel advisors to use artificial intelligence correctly and to use it to advance their business prospects. Now, there are people who are going to misuse it. I don't have any doubt. But that's also the true of every tool. And so the concerns that some people have expressed about artificial intelligence certainly have to be paid attention to. But that's not a reason for us not to utilize this to further our own business interests. So let's look at one little aspect of this program, and then I'm going to bounce out of this and do some live demos. We began building Toby, which is our artificial intelligence mascot, named after one of my dogs. And Toby is different from ChatGPT. Now, we built him originally using ChatGPT, but we have also just added a new one, Anthropic, to it. So Toby is unique in that he has two separate types of artificial intelligence, and the Anthropic artificial intelligence is coming online with us next week. So Toby is trained in travel, and by that I mean that Toby has a specialized database inherent in him that we have built and trained him on. He knows things about travel that ChatGPT doesn't know, and he will answer your inquiries and your requests of him, which we call prompts. He will take any prompt and answer it as though he were a marketer in the travel industry. Now, the other difference about this is that we have content other than AI. And I'm going to talk to you in a moment about content marketing. We also offer terrific training and support. That's core to our mission. And because we are beta clients of OpenAI and Anthropic, we're some of the first companies ever to work with them to develop applications for business. We get first selection of all the products that they generate. And so we have been pretty successful at staying well ahead of the curve. And this is changing so rapidly. Things are happening so quickly that it's almost hard for us to keep up with our tutorials because we're changing up things all the time. And in fact, some of the things I'm going to show you today are brand new and haven't even really been released to our general travel agency base that use the product. That will be next week along with Anthropic. So let me end the PowerPoint right now and get right into content marketing and the content portal. The content portal is meant to answer the question of how can a travel advisor effectively content market? Content marketing is really, really important, but it's kind of misunderstood and we have some problems with it. Here's some of the reasons you want to work with content marketing. Your clients come to you maybe 2-3 times a year to travel. And during that time period, the time period when they first approach you about a trip, and then you begin working on it, and then they're on the trip, and then right after they return, you're in fairly close contact with that client. There's a lot of back and forth. You're top of mind with them. They're thinking about you all the time. However, once a little period of time passes, after they return for a trip, then they get distracted by other shiny objects. Maybe a friend suggests a trip they want to take and they have a travel agent. Or maybe they see an ad in a magazine. They may go to a supplier direct. So it's important that we stay in front of a client all the time, that we stay top of mind. The way we do that is content marketing. Content marketing is about your social media work. It's about anything that you might do when you send a client birthday cards, the blogs that you write, the little newsletters that you may send out to clients, checklists, things that you develop for clients that you send to them. All of these things are content marketing, and they're really important because it keeps you in the frame of reference of that client. When that client thinks of travel, the client thinks of you. That's the situation we want. That's the entire goal of retention marketing. Now, the problem with content marketing is it takes a lot of time. It takes time to write a good blog article. You'll spend a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours, writing a good blog article. It takes a lot of time to produce graphics for social media, to maintain your website, to write a letter to a BDM or writing a letter to a client. You can agonize over. There's always a lot of emotion involved when things don't go exactly right. And so you've got to, in some way, shape, or form, get a letter written professionally, humanely, gently, and get your point across without a lot of unnecessary emotion. So how do you do all those things in the time allotted to us? Yeah, we're all very busy, and it takes time to do these things. So how can we effectively content market? That's what the content portal is all about. So all of these little sections here are various types of content, and almost universally, they can be modified. So here we have some social media templates. Instagram and Facebook sizing. They can be downloaded to a free Canva account and modified. You can change the picture, you can change the font. Makes it really easy to use these for social media. Because you can alter it, it's not going to look like everybody else's. You can put your logo on it, you can change the font, whatever you want to do. You can search it. The next section are slideshows. Now we're actually changing this one out. We're putting these in a new format, but these can be placed on a website. And by the way, they can be placed on any website. All the content in the content portal works on any website. You don't have to have one of our websites. No matter what you've got, you can use it on that if that site that you're using will accept outside content. Articles. These articles are professionally written. These can be placed on your website. They can be linked over into social media. And a lot of the writers here are professional writers who have won awards. In fact, I just got news that one of our writers, this woman right here by the name of Signe Pike, just had 3 books that she's written optioned by HBO for a series. So she may be the next George Martin. So that's very cool. We have lots of videos, over 300 videos, in fact, that you can put you can easily put a logo on it. You can easily put a reminder of your address and all your contact information on it. post it to social media. These are what we call storylines. And the storyline categories are a way of, these are fully built out web pages. I think I can show us here one right here. Very nicely done, that you can embed on your site and it becomes yours on your site. We make a tremendous effort to be both ethnically and demographically diverse. These are lead magnets, and we're going to have a lot of lead magnets here. This is a brand new product. This is going to come out next week along with the release. This product is a fully built out lead magnet that you can completely customize, that you can completely change any aspect of. Put your logo on, change the text. Whatever you want to do with it, you're capable of doing that in this system. Everything can be edited. They're professionally written. And we have a set of them. In fact, I should show you, I'll show you later the entire set of them so you can see. Right now, I think we've got something like 24 of them ready to go. These are destination guides. Now, this is not our product. This is a product by a company called the Arrival Guides out of Europe. And these are the nicest guides I have seen. You may know that I used to be the publisher of Weissman Travel Reports, now Travel 42. I've always wanted a really good set of destination guides that could be put on a website. And these can be. And you can search the destination. Your client can search for the destination on your website. Your website will now become a place where clients go to research. And they can get information on a particular destination they want to see. And not only that, they can download a PDF of the guide from the system. But the star of the show is Toby. And Toby has the capacity to remember who you are. So Toby is aware of that, not only that you're a travel agent, but he knows your name. Toby knows your niches. He knows your specialties. And all of that goes into his knowledge of travel and how he responds to you. These are the settings. These are past chats that I've had with Toby. These are prompts. Now, these are just example prompts that you can use to pattern your own prompts after. And you can create your own prompts. You can save them. And then you can, or you can type one in down here. We're going to do both. And under the settings, you can do the tone of voice you want Toby to use, the style, the format you're using, an email, a normal chat, an itinerary. And then you can set your controls. Now we have both 3.5 and GPT-4 right now. Next week, Claude will be in here. So let's do a little experiment here. Let's go back to our prompts. And let's look, for example, at something that I have to do right often. So let's say that I want to market as a travel advisor that I want to market Sandals Royal Curacao. Now, a full marketing program is going to consist of language for my website, language for a landing page, for example. It will include graphics, of course, that you'll have to create. It's going to include maybe some quips and quotes that you'll use for the graphics, little things that you'll put on your post to make it more interesting to the client. It might include some emojis. So let's go through a marketing campaign here. If you were to set out to do this on your own, this would be a 2 to 3 hour job. So here's my first prompt. I'm giving Toby information about the special that I'm trying to promote. I click confirm and Toby goes to work. Now I can rename this. I won't bother doing that right now. But what Toby's done here is to give me some text that I can use at the top of all my social media posts. Now, what we suggest that you do as a travel advisor is that you edit this just a bit, that you make sure that your brand voice is present, and that you don't just cut and paste it right into Facebook or right into Instagram. We'd like to see you add your own personality to it, because, and you'll hear me say this again, you're what's unique. You're what's unique about your agency. And so you want to be able to do that. But now this isn't enough. I'm going to have to ask Toby for some hashtags. So now he's given me hashtags. And by the way, all this is being done in an editor so that you can change and edit anything. And then I'm going to ask Toby to give me some emojis and tell me what the emojis mean, because I can never remember what all those mean. Give me some emojis that fit this particular promotion. Now, let's say that we have to write a customer service letter. We've got a client, Mary Johnson, but she broke her arm on the way to the airport to get to her cruise. She missed the cruise. She didn't get travel insurance, contrary to your advice. So now you need to write Sherry Thompson, your Carnival BDM, to explain the situation and ask if there's anything that can be done for the client. That could be a tough letter to write. It could take you a lot of time to agonize over. Toby's going to write the first draft for you. Now, if I were in my account, and I'm not really because I'm using our development server, Toby would know this information. My name, the name of the travel agency, and my contact information. You can see how elegantly Toby writes. He does a really nice job of doing this first draft. You take this, you polish it a little bit, you add, a few niceties to it, and you send it off. Let's say we want to build a packing list, and you know what, I'm gonna do this in a new chat. Let's say I've got a client, Ellen Smith, going to Switzerland for 7 days. She's not taking her ski equipment, but she needs a packing list. She needs to know what to take. One night she's going to go out to eat in the village, so something pretty nice. And she'll need to remember things like her passport and her all of her electronics and toiletries. So let's get something now that is for her, that is very much geared to her. Oh, I did remember me here. Very good. Again, how long would it take you to write that letter normally? Toby just did your first draft in a few seconds. So it's a way of you accelerating and enhancing your own customer service. All of your marketing. Let's say we need an About Us page for our website. Here's my information that I want to make sure it includes. Pretty nice. What about that blog post we need? 1,200 word article on traveling to Italy as a vegan. Because Italy is largely dependent on animal products, what can I expect to find? You've got your blog article written. Need an itinerary? Let's go new chat. Here's a 7-day itinerary for Prague. Now, again, you could ask Toby for anything. These are just saved prompts. So I think you get a sense for how important Toby is to your business on a day-to-day basis. We have clients now using Toby. And by the way, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 agents now using Toby. We've got agents that call it a game changer, that say Toby is like an assistant to them. They feel like they've got a new team member. And that's so true. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to turn to Toby and say, write that letter for me, so that you can do something else, so that your time can be spent with your clients? This is our website, and I'll show you this again, but it's voyagersocial.ai. And we have a free trial that I'll show you something about here in a little bit. Let's talk websites. Websites are important, and they're important because clients expect them first and foremost. The reason that we began building websites was that the ones in existence at the time that we started were not very good. They were not very professional, in the sense that every one of them looked like every other website made by that company. Everyone's website looked basically alike. You could look at the site and know who built it. You couldn't put a lot of content on those sites. You weren't able to do a lot of editing yourself. And basically the sites were not very friendly to outside content that you wanted to load on. We wanted to change all that. We wanted a website system where no two websites would look alike. We now have about 1,100 of them. No two of them look alike that are Voyager sites. So we do have one set that are very, very rigid and very inexpensive. And we sometimes, people who are very new to the industry do use those, and those do have a lot of repetition in them. But I advocate moving off of those as quickly as you're capable of doing. We do a lot of training. We do a lot of work with you so that you know how to utilize a website appropriately, what its purpose is, how it differs from social media, and how to drive traffic to it from social media, how to drive traffic to it through SEO. Notice here this little icon right here. This little icon helps make the entire thing ADA compliant, another very important aspect. This is what a website should look like. Now, I know that it doesn't stream very well on GoToWebinar, so I don't know if you can tell that this is a video or not. But we use lots of video, we use lots of great graphics, and we provide those to you. At the core of every one of these websites is the travel advisor. And the reason for that is, again, you're what's unique. Your clients can't get you cheaper on the internet. Your clients can't find another you. They can buy Carnival anywhere, from another agency, from Carnival Direct, from Costco, but you're what's unique to the travel transaction. And that's why we try to place you at the center of these websites. Let's look at another one. I believe that's an ASTA chapter president right there, Ms. Chensman. So you can see that they can look completely different from others. We begin with templates. You choose a template, you tell us what you like in terms of, not of the content, because the content can be anything, but in terms of the placement of the logo, in terms of the placement of certain text elements, where the menu appears. That's what the template is about. And then 4 to 5 days later, we turn over to you the first draft of your website, and then we begin working with you to customize it. The websites on the back end are drag and drop. And what that means is basically, if you want to go in and change some language, it's a piece of cake to do it. If you can type, you could build one of these websites by yourself. Now, there are people in the industry who will build you a very beautiful customized website. And they'll charge you $2,400 for it. That seems to me to be economically wrong. The reason for that is that this industry doesn't really justify that kind of expenditure for a website. Now, what you get when you come to Voyager is a customized website for $75. So it's a very different proposition. In terms of content, we've got the largest content library in the industry. We've got travel specials. Let me tell you what's different about our travel specials. When you open them up and you look at any particular given trip, unless it's a cruise line or a resort, where you kind of have to name the resort or the cruise line, you don't know who's presenting this particular trip to Peru or this trip to the UK and Europe. You know as the travel advisor, but the consumer doesn't know. And that's one of the things that we didn't like about some of the older sites that are being offered to travel advisors. Essentially, you were giving them so much information in the search engines of those websites that they could immediately begin to shop you. We've got lots and lots of videos, lots and lots of hundreds of graphics, many of them animated. These are the storyline widgets that we looked at. We have a quarterly travel magazine that we produce. Brochure rack. All of the websites have a blog built into it. So if you want to blog, you can. Then we've got lots of little widgets that you can put on your site. This can be private labeled to the name of your agency. We've got climate data so that a client can say, what's the climate in Ireland during August? All kinds of little weather. Hundreds and hundreds of articles you can use. A packing list widget that you can actually put on your website. Slideshows. These are the slideshows I was talking about earlier. These I want to show you in some detail, and I'm actually going to have to bounce onto this to show you to you. These are our widgets that essentially are going to be used as the basis of our new lead magnets. And I was thinking that I had lots of pictures here, and apparently I don't. Let me see if I can sign in with this right here. Yeah, here we go. Here's all the ones that we currently have ready to go and that will be editable in the content portal soon. So we got our brochures, our blog, widgets, articles in several different formats, world clock widget, map widget. And I'll tell this group now, because you're the first group that's heard this. I haven't even announced this to all of our agents yet. The content portal will soon have this built into it. These are little mini sites that you can build for your client. When your client travels, you can send them off with this widget. All kinds of information about their trip with your logo built into it. And it very much personalizes the experience of working with you. One of the really nice things is that we have a series of partners, and we list them at the top of this page. I'll show you before I leave this. You can earn commissions as your client travels. So if your client is going to Prague, then you use their affiliate link for Project Expedition, for example. Viator does it, several other companies do it. And if they book that here, you get the commission as they travel, which is something historically travel agents have lost out on, because all too often people book these after they're on the trip and they're in destination. So that's the 30,000 foot look at both the destination guides, the content portal, and the websites. So I can sure take some questions, and I'll bet we have a few.
Thanks, Richard. We do have a couple coming in. So first, Kathleen asks, if I don't have any saved prompts for Toby, do I just type the request? And second part of that is, then how do I save the prompt?
You do. So let's just make one up here. Okay, so what I'm saying is I've got a client going to Iceland. Let's say asking about Iceland. What are some possible objections the client might make during the presentation? And provide me with some answers to the objections using the feel, felt, found. If you've ever had negotiating courses, feel, felt, found is a way you answer objections. Let's see what Toby says a client might object to, and how we should answer it. Here are a few objections. I've heard Iceland's too cold. Response: I understand how you feel about cold weather. Many people have felt that same way initially. There's the felt. Okay, I know how you feel. Many people have felt that way. What we have found is that Iceland is located in the Arctic Circle. Its climate is milder than you might expect. Objection: I'm concerned about the short daylight hours. Response: I understand your concern. Many travelers have felt the same way. However, what I found is that Iceland has its charms during the winter months when the aurora borealis lights up the sky. Additionally, during summer, you get the midnight sun. So here's the cost. These are objections. If you don't think that's enough objections, now, why is this important? Because before you do a presentation, if you've worked with Toby to discuss it, Toby's going to give you a way of handling that with your client, of articulating your answers. You probably already know these answers, but Toby's going to brief you beforehand. Now, if you wanted to save this prompt, hang on just a second. I think I'm going to have to go to new chat. Well, Toby's stuck on me here. Sometimes Toby doesn't like presentation programs like Zoom and like, he's not gonna let me save it right now, I'm afraid. But let's answer some more questions. The answer is yes, you can save it.
Great. Another question is, can you use this information from our current website on yours if we switch to the full suite? Is the mini site included with the full suite program?
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to say so. Oh, I just realized the reason it's not doing it is I'm on the development server, not the real server. So yes, absolutely. The new program comes with Toby. So all of our websites now have Toby built in. So I just think it enhances so much. I couldn't imagine not doing it. I couldn't imagine not having Toby. And just if you think about a few things that are coming up, we're going to teach Toby how to take dictation. We're going to teach eventually, this will be a little further out, we're going to teach Toby how to speak back to you. Of course, we're integrating Anthropic's AI into the system. There's a ton of new features coming down the pipe. Like I say, it takes some time to do this and to get it right and to make sure that Toby is giving you information that is accurate and that he's giving you information that you can trust. Now, we still indicate that you ought to make sure that you're fact checking things, and we make sure that you know that there are plagiarism checkers that you can use. But with Toby, we have never seen plagiarism be an issue, and we've studied this intensely with him. So have all of our agents. We tell all of our agents to go through the plagiarism checkers. We've never seen an issue with plagiarism.
Great, thank you. Anna asks, will this portal allow compliant payments to be received by my agency? And I'm not sure how that relates to this, but I don't know.
No, it doesn't accept payment from clients, no, if that's what you're asking.
Perfect. Okay, Jean asks, what is the cost of a Voyager website and the Voyager social program? Is this billed monthly or annually?
It's both, and let me pull that back up here. So the content portal is found at www.voyagersocial.ai. And there are two promo codes. ASTA 18 monthly for the monthly program, ASTA 18 annual. Now, this is what everyone pays for the program without ASTA, or without an agreement with a partner like ASTA. This is what you pay. So it's a sizable difference. And if you look at the annual, it's roughly 2-3 months. Now, the other advantage of doing annual is that the destination guides are provided with the annual ones. We don't provide the destination guides with the monthly, except if you get the websites. The websites, here's the pricing there. These are the little non-editable sites. And then this is a deluxe site. This is the website only essential with the content portal, $75 setup. The rest of the world is paying $55 a month. ASTA members pay $50. The full suite includes our social media manager. And that's a piece of software, sort of like Hootsuite, only it's a lot more advanced than Hootsuite. And it lets you schedule your social media posts. It lets you post to all your different platforms. It lets you monitor all the feedback that you get. So it's really meant to be a social media manager. And the full suite contains a website and the social media manager. Then you can buy the social media manager by itself. You can subscribe to that. The promo code for the websites is ASTA 18. So for the websites, you go to voyagerwebsites.com, you use ASTA 18. Now, if you have any questions after this, you can email agent support at Voyager Travel Guides. Just say you were in this webinar and ask any question you want to ask. And I will probably answer it if it's about the webinar, but it may be some other member of the support team. So again, VoyagerWebsites.com and VoyagerSocial.ai. You might want to write down those promo codes. If you mess up and you forget to put a promo code in, we'll fix it for you. Other questions?
Yes, so Pamela has a question. Let me roll back up here. Can we personalize the destination guides without an itinerary so they are for general use for now to offer, then personalize it for more specific clients? So generalize agency, then personalize with client name later.
You can. Now the destination guides that come from the arrival guides are a little less friendly, say, than what Toby produces for destinations. So Toby, you can absolutely modify anything. The destination guides that come from the arrival guides are more fixed. Those are for your website, and like I said, that's a third-party product, so those are a little more fixed.
Perfect. All right, let's see. Another one. Is the website hosting service included with the website fee? And
Yes.
Another question, is Toby included in the full suite?
Yes.
Perfect.
Toby's included with all websites now, and the full suite is the one that has the social media manager and posting built in.
Perfect. All right. So Sandra asks, we currently have a website that is pretty ordinary. However, they insert all our preferred supplier specials for us. With this website, I'm assuming she's asking with the Voyager website, do we add in all the information, or is it just general ads or specials that are already included?
It's both. For example, you can co-brand if you have a sandals site, or if you're working with someone else that has a link to a co-branded site for you. Those are easy to put on your sites, and most of our agents do exactly that. So yes, it's very easy to co-brand. It's also very easy for you to put your own travel specials on. In fact, we just developed something we call a travel special card that lets you customize and post a special on your website very easily.
Perfect. All right. Earlier, you mentioned that you'd be able to add additional seats for other agents in your office to use the product. Where do I find how to add agents to the product?
That has not yet been added, but that is coming. That is a product. We are going to offer a product that has as many additional seats as you need in a given agency. Now, the drawback to that, and one of the things we've wrestled with a little bit, is that you are, in essence, sharing information. So if you don't have to worry about the information being shared between agents, client information, that kind of thing, the things you're working on, then it's not a problem. But in a team setting, right now, it looks like everything will be shared. So for example, if you draft a customer service letter to Jane Doe, all of your other agents in the office are going to be able to see that. So if privacy is not a concern, then that's terrific.
Great. All right. We're going to take another couple questions. I will say Jennifer said she loves the product. She just started using it a couple weeks ago. So Jennifer, I may reach out for you to do a little testimonial here for ASTA, because this is one of the ASTA member benefits, as Richard mentioned. So, you know, if you need more information or you forget to write something down, you can always go log into asta.org, go to the Member Advantage program area, and find out all this information. So just a little plug there for ASTA. And let's see, I'm trying to look to see who I haven't covered yet. So Jean asked, does Voyager host the website or does an agency host their own site independently?
No, we host it for you. Perfect. It's all included.
Excellent. Let's see, is there a free trial, Dana asks?
There is a free trial to Toby. There's not a free trial to the website, obviously, because we have to build it. But you can go monthly. So, you know, you can decide that you don't like it, but we don't have that happen to us. So that's not really a concern. But yeah, we don't do free trials on the websites. We do have a 7-day free trial with Toby.
Perfect. All right, and I'm going to take one final question. And Melinda asks, can I edit the website after it's built?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very easy to edit. It's very easy to change the entire theme for the website. So yes, you can very easily edit it. And again, it's all drag and drop, so it's very simple to do.
Perfect. And I'll take one more. Stacy pushed in here. How long does it take then to build the initial website once you get started?
Typically 4 to 5 business days. You'll have the first draft of your website.
Perfect. All right. Well, if there's anything else that comes in the next minute or so, everybody keep asking your questions. I'll drop a line into Richard later on, and he can direct any answers or have one of his coworkers get back to you. But again, Richard, I do appreciate your time today, and thank you again for being a supporter of ASTA and our travel advisor members. And as a reminder, this was recorded, so if you missed anything, want to go back and look at any of the slides that he had up there to get codes or whatever, you can get to asta.org under video library probably early next week. It takes us about 3 to 5 business days to get things up and going for you. So again, my name is Andrea Caulfield, Director of Membership. And thank you so much, Richard, for your information and your support of ASTA. And then everyone have a great rest of the work week. Thank you
Andrea,
again.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.